The Pedia. General Studies Video Lectures. Notes and Practice. Question sets for Engineering Service Examination, and other UPS conducted examinations. In this video we have discussed some practice questions. Conservation Degradation. Practice set 01. Question 1. Biodiversity hotspots. The Western Ghats. The Western Ghats are a chain of hills that run along the western edge of peninsular India. Their proximity to the ocean, and through orographic effect, they receive high rainfall. These regions have moist deciduous forest and rainforest. The region shows high species diversity as well as high levels of endemism. Nearly 77% of the amphibians and 62% of the reptile species found here are found nowhere else. The region shows geographical affinities to the Malayan region. And the Satpura hypothesis proposed by Sunderlal Haraja suggests that the hill chains of central India may have once formed a connection with the forests of northeastern India and into the Indo-Malayan region. Hoare used torrent stream fishes to support the theory, but it was also suggested to hold for birds. Later studies have suggested that Hoare's original model species were a demonstration of convergent evolution rather than speciation by isolation. More recent phylogeographic studies have attempted to study the problem using molecular approaches. There are also differences in taxa which are dependent on time of divergence and geological history. Along with Sri Lanka, this region also shows some fauna similarities with the Madagascar region, especially in the reptiles and amphibians. Examples include the cyanophis snakes, the purple frog and Sri Lankan lizard genus Nisaya, which appears similar to the Madagascar genus Aconchias. Numerous floral links to the Madagascar region also exist. An alternate hypothesis that these taxa may have originally evolved out of India has also been suggested. Biogeographical quirks exist with some taxa of Malayan origin occurring in Sri Lanka, but absent in the Western Ghats. These include insect groups such as the plants such as those of the genus Npanus. The Eastern Himalayas. The Eastern Himalayas is the region encompassing Bhutan, northeastern India, and southern, central and eastern Nepal. The region is geologically young and shows high altitudinal variation. It has nearly 163 globally threatened species including the one-horned rhinoceros Rhinoceros unicornis, the wild Asian water buffalo Bubalus bubalizani, and in all 45 mammals, 50 birds, 17 reptiles, 12 amphibians, 3 invertebrate and 36 plant species. The relic dragonfly Apiopelbia laidlawi is an endangered species found here, with the only other species in the genus being found in Japan. The region is also home to the Himalayan Nuctila verrucosus, the only salamander species found within Indian limits. Conclusion. So the Western Himalayas is not a biodiversity hotspot. Question 2. IUCN Red List categories. Species are classified by the IUCN Red List into 9 groups, specified through criteria such as rate of decline, population size, area of geographic distribution, and degree of population and distribution fragmentation. Extinct X, no known individuals remaining. Extinct in the wild U, known only to survive in captivity, or as a naturalized population outside its historic range. Critically endangered CR, extremely high risk of extinction in the wild. Endangered A, high risk of extinction in the wild. Vulnerable VU, high risk of endangerment in the wild. Near threatened NT, likely to become endangered in the near future. Least concern LC, lowest risk does not qualify for a more at risk category. Widespread and abundant taxa are included in this category. Data deficient DD, not enough data to make an assessment of its risk of extinction. Not evaluated NE, has not yet been evaluated against the criteria. In the context of the IUCN Red List, threatened embraces the three categories of critically endangered, and vulnerable. Conclusion. So Indian wild ass is the answer. Question 3. Olive Ridley turtle. 2 olive ridley hatchlings moving into the ocean after being released from a conservation site in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The olive ridley is classified as vulnerable according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources IUCN, and is listed in Appendix I of sites. These listings were largely responsible for halting the large-scale commercial exploitation and trade of olive ridley skins. The Convention on Migratory Species and the Inter-American Convention for the Protection and Conservation of Sea Turtles have also provided olive ridleys with protection, leading to increased conservation and management for this marine turtle. National listings for this species range from endangered to threatened, yet enforcing these sanctions on a global scale has been unsuccessful for the most part. Conservation successes for the olive ridley have relied on well-coordinated national programs in combination with local communities and non-government organizations, which focus primarily on public outreach and education. Arabada management has also played a critical role in conserving olive ridleys. Lastly, enforcing the use of turtle excluder devices in the shrimp trawling industry has also proved effective in some areas. Globally, the olive ridley continues to receive less conservation attention than its close relative, the Ridley L. Kempi. Also, many schools arrange trips for students to carry out the conservation project, especially in India. Several projects worldwide seek to preserve the olive ridley sea turtle population. For example, in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, when the turtles come to the beach to lay their eggs, some of them are relocated to a hatchery, where they have a much better chance to survive. If the eggs were left on the beach, they would face many threats such as getting washed away with the tide or getting poached. Once the eggs hatch, the baby turtles are carried to the beach and released. Another major project in India involved in preserving the olive ridley sea turtle population was carried out in Chennai, where the Chennai Wildlife Team collected close to 10,000 eggs along the Marina coast, of which 8,834 hatchlings were successfully released into the sea in a phased manner. Conclusion. So only option 1 and option 2 are correct. Question 4. Weather fronts. A cold weather front is defined as the change of a region where a cold air mass is replacing a warmer air mass. Cold weather fronts usually move from northwest to southeast. The air behind a cold front is colder and drier than the air in front. When a cold front passes through, temperatures can drop more than 15 degrees within an hour. On a weather forecast map, a cold front is represented by a solid line with blue triangles along the front pointing towards the warmer air and in the direction of movement. There is usually an obvious temperature change from one side of a cold front to the other. It has been known that temperatures east of a cold front could be approximately 55 degrees Fahrenheit, while a short distance behind the cold front, the temperature can go down to 38 degrees. An abrupt temperature change over a short distance is a good indicator that a front is located somewhere in between. A warm weather front is defined as the changeover region where a warm air mass is replacing a cold air mass. Warm fronts usually move from southwest to northeast, and the air behind a warm front is warmer and moister than the air ahead of it. When a warm front passes, the air becomes noticeably warmer and more humid than it was before. On a weather forecast map, a warm front is represented by a solid line with red semicircles pointing towards the colder air and in the direction of movement. Again, there is typically a noticeable temperature change from one side of the warm front to the other, much the same as a cold front. If colder air is replacing warmer air, it is a cold front. If warmer air is replacing cold air, then it is a warm front. Conclusion. So 1 and 3 are correct. Question 5. Gross primary production and net primary production. Gross primary production (GPP) is the amount of chemical energy as biomass that primary produces create in a given length of time. GPP is sometimes confused with gross primary productivity, which is the rate at which photosynthesis or chemosynthesis occurs. Some fraction of this fixed energy is used by primary producers for cellular respiration and maintenance of existing tissues. That is, growth respiration and maintenance respiration. The remaining fixed energy, that is, mass of photosynthate, is referred to as net primary production (NPP). NPP equals GPP, respiration by plants. Net primary production is the rate at which all the plants in an ecosystem produce net useful chemical energy. It is equal to the difference between the rate at which the plants in an ecosystem produce useful chemical energy (GPP) and the rate at which they use some of that energy during respiration. Some net primary production goes toward growth and reproduction of primary producers, while some is consumed by herbivores. Both gross and net primary production are in units of mass per unit area per unit time interval. In terrestrial ecosystems, mass of carbon per unit area per year (GCM-2 year -1) is most often used as the unit of measurement. Conclusion. So option A is the right answer. Question 6. Crab. Crabs are decapod crustaceans of the infraorder Brachyura, which typically have a very short projecting tail, usually entirely hidden under the thorax. They live in all the world's oceans, in fresh water, and on land, are generally covered with a thick exoskeleton, and have a single pair of claws. Mites. Mites are small arthropods belonging to the class Arachnida and the subclass Acaria, also known as Acarina. The term mite refers to the members of several groups in Acaria, but it is not a clade, and excludes the ticks, order Ixodidae. Mites and ticks are characterized by the body being divided into two regions, the cephalothorax or prosoma. There is no separate head, and an opisthothoma. The scientific discipline devoted to the study of ticks and mites is called acarology. Most mites are tiny, less than 1 mm (0.04 in length, and have a simple, unsegmented body plan. Their small size makes them easily overlooked. Some species live in water, many live in soil as decomposers, others live on plants, sometimes creating galls, while others again are predators or parasites. This last group includes the commercially important varroa parasite of honeybees, as well as the scabies mite of humans. Most species are harmless to humans, but a few are associated with allergies or may transmit diseases. Scorpion. Scorpions are predatory arachnids of the order Scorpions. They have 8 legs and are easily recognized by the pair of grasping pedipalps and the narrow, segmented tail, often carried in a characteristic forward curve over the back, ending with a venomous stinger. Scorpions range in size from 9 mm (0.3 inches). Spider. Spiders are air-breathing arthropods that have 8 legs and chelicerae with fangs able to inject venom. They are the largest order of arachnids and rank 7th in total species diversity among all other orders of organisms. Conclusion. So option A is correct answer. Question 7. The forest cover in square kilometers in 2017 in India by state and union territory as published by the Forest Survey of India. State/U geographical area, total forest area, percent of forested area. And the Pradesh 162,968, 28,147, 17.27%. Arunachal Pradesh 83,743, 66,964, 79.96%. Assam 78,438, 28,105, 35.83%. Bihar 94,163, 7,299, 7.75%. Chhattisgarh 135,192, 55,547, 41.09%. Delhi 1,483, 192, 12.97%. Goa 3,702, 2,229, 60.21%. Gujarat 196,244, 14,757, 7.52%. Haryana 44,212, 1,588, 3.59%. Himachal Pradesh 55,673, 15,100, 27.12%. Jammu Kashmir 222,362, 1,837, 3.65%. Rajasthan 342,239, 16,572, 4.84%. Sikkim 7,096, 3,344, 47.13%. Tamil Nadu 130,060, 26,281, 20.21%. Telangana 112,077, 20,419, 18.22%. Tripura 10,486, 7,726, 73.68%. Uttar Pradesh 240,928, 14,679, 6.09%. Uttarakhand 53,483, 2090, 54, 10.95%. Total 3,287,469, 708,273, 21.54%. Conclusion. So Haryana has minimum total forest cover area. Question 8. The following list contains the 10 countries with the largest forest area in the world, along with the percentage of the total land area of the country. 1. Russia 7,762,602 kilometers to 2,997,157 m², which are 45.40% of the country's land area. Russia is not only the largest country in the world, but also the country with the largest forest area. The forest area of Russia alone is the size of the entire continent of Australia. 2. Brazil 4,776,980 kilometers to 1,844,402 m², which are 56.10% of the total land area of Brazil. Brazil is the 5th largest country in the world, and over than half of its size is forested area, large part of which is the Amazon area and its rainforest. The forest area of Brazil is larger than India. 3. Canada 3,101,340 kilometers to 1,197,434 m², which are 31.06% of Canada's land. Canada is the second largest country in the world, and its forest area is just about the size of India. 4. United States 3,030,890 kilometers to 1,170,233 m² of forest area, which make for 30.84% of the U.S. land. 5. China 1,821,000 kilometers 2,703,092 m², which are only 18.21% of the land area of China. China has the smallest percentage of forests on its land from all the countries in this top 10 list. 6. Australia 1,470,832 kilometers 2,567,891 m², N-19.00%. 7. Congo D. RN 1,219,326 kilometers 2,470,784 m², which are 52% of the country's land. 8. Argentina N-945,336 kilometers 2,364,996 m², N-34% of the land of Argentina is forested area. 9. Indonesia N-884,950 kilometers 2,341,681 me2 N-46.46%. Almost half of Indonesia is a forest. 10. India N-778,424 kilometers 2,300,551 me2 N-23.68%. Conclusion. So option B is correct. Question 9. Hareik wetland. Hareik wetland, also known as Harikapatan, with the Hareik Lake in the deeper part of it, is the largest wetland in northern India in the border of Tarn Sab district and Firozpur district of the Punjab state in India. The wetland and the lake were formed by constructing the headworks across the Sutlej River in 1953. The headworks is located downstream of the confluence of the Bias and Sutlej rivers. The rich biodiversity of the wetland, which plays a vital role in maintaining the precious hydrological balance in the catchment with its vast concentration of migratory fauna of waterfowls, including a number of globally threatened species stated to be next only to the Pedia National Park near Bharatpur, has been responsible for the recognition accorded to this wetland in 1990 by the Ramsar Convention as one of the Ramsar sites in India for conservation, development and preservation of the ecosystem. This man-made, riverine, lacustrine wetland spreads into the three districts of Tarn Sab, Firozpur and Kapurthala in Punjab, and covers an area of 4,100 ha. Conservation of this wetland has been given due importance since 1987 both by the Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India and the Punjab state government through its several agencies, and over the years several studies and management programs have been implemented. Pedia National Park. Pedia National Park or Pedia National Park, formerly known as the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, India, is a famous avifauna sanctuary that hosts thousands of birds, especially during the winter season. Over 230 species of birds are known to be resident. It is also a major tourist center with scores of ornithologists arriving here in the hibernal season. It was declared a protected sanctuary in 1971. It is also a World Heritage Site. Pedia National Park is a man-made and man-managed wetland and one of the national parks of India. The reserve protects Bharatpur from frequent floods, provides grazing grounds for village cattle, and earlier was primarily used as a waterfowl hunting ground. The 29 kilometers to 11 square mi reserve is locally known as Ghana, and is a mosaic of dry grasslands, woodlands, woodland swamps and wetlands. These diverse habitats are home to 366 bird species, 379 floral species, 50 species of fish, 13 species of snakes, 5 species of lizards, 7 amphibian species, 7 turtle species and a variety of other invertebrates. Every year thousands of migratory waterfowl visit the park for wintering and breeding. The sanctuary is one of the richest bird areas in the world and is known for nesting of resident birds and visiting migratory birds including water birds. The rare Siberian cranes used to winter in this park, but this central population is now extinct. According to founder of the World Wildlife Fund Peter Scott, Aladia National Park is one of the world's best bird areas. Kolaroo Lake. Kolaroo Lake is one of the largest freshwater lakes in India, located in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and forms the largest shallow freshwater lake in Asia, 15 kilometers away from the city of Uluru. Kolaroo is located between Krishna and Godavari deltas. Kolaroo spans into two districts, Krishna and West Godavari. The lake is fed directly by water from the seasonal Budamaru and Tamiliva streams. Kolaroo Lake. Kolaroo Lake is one of the largest freshwater lakes in India, located in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and forms the largest shallow freshwater lake in Asia, 15 kilometers away from the city of Uluru. Kolaroo is located between Krishna and Godavari deltas. Kolaroo spans into two districts, Krishna and West Godavari. The lake is fed directly by water from the seasonal Budamaru and Tamiliva streams, and is connected to the Krishna and Godavari irrigation systems by over 67 major and minor irrigation canals. This lake is a major tourist attraction. Many birds migrate here in winter, such as Siberian crane, ibis, and painted storks. The lake was an important habitat for an estimated 20 million resident and migratory birds, including the grey or spot-billed pelican Pelecanus philippensis. The lake was declared as a wildlife sanctuary in November 1999 under India's Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And designated a wetland of international importance in November 2002 under the International Ramsar Convention. The wildlife sanctuary covers an area of 308 kilometers. Egrets, grey herons, painted storks and black-headed ibises gathering in thousands at Kolaroo Lake, Andhra Pradesh, India. Kolaroo Lake under Ramsar Convention allowing local communities here. Vedi community to continue their occupation of culture fish and caught fish covers 90,100 hectares 222,600 acres, and Kolaroo Lake under Wildlife Sanctuary covers 166,000 acres 67,200 hectares. Conclusion. So option A is correct. Question 10. Asiatic Lyre Reintroduction Project. The Asiatic Lyre Reintroduction Project is an initiative of the Indian government to provide safeguards to the Asiatic lion Panthera leo from extinction in the wild by means of reintroduction. The last wild population of the Asiatic lion is found in the region of Gir Forest National Park, in the state of Gujarat. The single population faces the threats of epidemics, natural disasters, and other anthropogenic factors. The project aims to establish a second independent population of Asiatic lions at the Kanno Wildlife Sanctuary in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh. However, the proposed translocation has been bitterly contested by the state government. Conclusion. So option D is correct answer.